Parilamai. Now we have to start this lesson from 18.3. In the last weeks, we have discussed about the cyclones and watched the videos about the cyclones. Then we have understood that what is a disaster, what is a natural disaster, then what are the root causes for them. Then today we have to discuss about the tsunami. What is tsunami? I know, yeah, you don't have experiences because you have born after the tsunami. I think it is your birthday is most of uh, most probably 2012 or 2011 or something. Then tsunami incident happened in 2004. Therefore, you don't know, but you have watched the videos about the that bigger waves, that tsunami waves are invading the country, the beach, and all the buildings get destroyed, and lives with the lives. Then this is an actual disaster. No one can stop. Only thing is we can reduce the impact to the social to the society, but we cannot stop, and we cannot reduce this to the 0%, but at least we have to get knowledge about the disaster, then we can reduce the impact. Right. Tsunami incident was happened 26th of December in 2004. It is nearly 20 or 21 years now, right? Then we lost in Sri Lanka 250,000 people, right? Died in countries bordering the Indian Ocean. That means not in Sri Lanka, not only in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, nearly 14,000 were died, uh, and some are still missing, right? Then the damage which happened to the properties, buildings, is cannot be completely calculated. Then, today we are going to discuss how the tsunamis form according to the science. Right. Then, uh, in this section that they have mainly focused on the 2004 incident, that how it was happened, right? In according to my memory, that tsunami wave reached to the Sri Lankan coast at 9 around 9 a.m. in the morning. At the time I was in grade 4. That means the Christmas vacation of the grade 4. I was passing to the grade 5, right? So I can remember that date. It will not vanish away from my memory. Then before the wave reached to the Sri Lankan coast, that the earthquake of 9.1 in Richter scale was happened in 6:58 a.m. in the morning in the Sumatra Island, which is an island located in the Indian Ocean, right? So it is it happened not in the land area of the Sumatra, but in the ocean near to the Sumatra Island. So that earthquake is in 9.1 in Richter scale. Now we have discussed about the intensity and the result in table 18.3 above 8.0 Richter scale. They have said that can cause complete destruction. සම්පූර්ණ විනාශයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. Then you can see here it is 9.1 in Richter scale. You can imagine what will happen to the sea, right? Then this was happened at a convergent border. Now you have learned about the borders which can happen in earthquakes. There are three borders you have learned. Then this is a convergent border, right? In the Indian tectonic plate moved underneath the Burmese tectonic plate. හරි. Indian තැටිය ගිහිල්ලා බුරුම තැටියට එක්ක ඉම්පැක්ට් එකක් ඇති කරගත්තා. right? මෙන්න මේ හින්දා තමයි 2,50,000කට වඩා වැඩි පිරිසක් මරණයට පත් වුණේ. Right. Owing to the upward movement of Burmese tectonic plate, with a vast amount, that means the Burmese tectonic plate moved upward direction. Then when the Indian tectonic plate moved downward direction, then a vast amount of energy released, that we have discussed about the kinetic energy. It is formulated by this. Then here is the M, it is the mass. So you can imagine the mass of a tectonic plate, it is very huge amount. Then the velocity is low, we know that, but the kinetic energy is very high here. So that kinetic energy is released. That means not the kinetic energy. It is only just a one component of the total energy. That means the kinetic energy. It is not only the kinetic energy. There are various types of energies included to this total energy releasing, right? So the vast amount of energy released by the earthquake, which was happened in the Sumatra, near to the Sumatra Island in the Indian Ocean. Then the oceanic water raised up by using this energy, right? Oceanic water raised up as a wave. The tsunami wave created by it was spread throughout the Indian Ocean at a speed greater than 800 kilometers, right, per hour. දැන් ඔන්න එතනින් පටන් අරගෙන tsunami waves මේ තියෙන විදිහට මේ figure 18.21 එකේ තියෙන විදිහ රවුමට දැන් ඔන්න wave හරියට නිකන් වතුර බේසමකට උඩ ඉඳන් ගලක් අතෑරියොත් තමයි that you can see the circles on the surface as waves, right? Waves are created as circles, right? That the same incident it is happening here due to the earthquake, right? Now these are the waves. Waves are created with a speed of greater than 800 kilometers per hour. පැයකදී කිලෝමීටර් 800කට වඩා යනවා. ඉච්චර වේගයකින් ඔන්න දැන් හැදුනා wave stream. Right? මේක දැන් ඇවිල්ලා වදින්න කොහෙන්ද? ලංකාවට ඇවිල්ලා. Right? Here you can see the how it is going to be impacted to the Sri Lankan coast. Now here again, here. Right now, it is now near to the Sri Lanka. Right, it is to the eastern and southern provinces. Then it will move to the India. Then it created an impact on the coast of the India. Then as a result, then these waves came again after hitting the India like this to the Sri Lankan coast again to the western region. But this comeback is not stronger than the original wave, but it was happened. Right? Slight damages to the western region was recorded, and these waves are then moved to the African region also. Right? But it is not strong. The major incidents were happened to the Sri Lanka and to the India, especially for the Sri Lanka. Right? And to these regions, right? Malaysia, it is near to the Sumatra, and to the Thailand, that those are the bordering countries of the Indian Ocean. So it was happened. Right? Keep it in mind, it is greater than 800 kilometers per hour. Right? Then here you can restructure the tsunami waves using a tank. Right? It is easy if you can use a fish tank, a small fish tank. Right? Right. In here, they are saying you have to use a rectangular basin. That means a fish tank is easier. Air-filled balloon, a balloon with air with different sizes of feet. Pour water to the amount volume rectangular basin. Sink an air-filled balloon at a narrow end. මේ පැත්තේ air-filled balloon එක තියන්න. And burst it with piercing with the field. එහෙම තියලා ඔන්න දැන් ඒක පුපුරවන්නලු. Observe the waves that in the form. Right. එතකොට ඒ පුපුරවද්දි අර water tank එක ඇතුලේ rally ඇති වෙනවා, waves ඇති වෙනවා. ඒක observe කරන්න. Right. So you can do this by using different size of balloons. Right. With two or three volume of a rectangular basin. Right. Now you can get an idea. So the incident causing tsunami. What are the reasons for causing tsunami? Right. First one is earthquakes occurring the Indian Oceanic, not Indian. It can be happened in every ocean. Right. Earthquakes occurring oceanic bed. Right. Then volcanic eruptions in the ocean floor. ඒ කියන්නේ මුහුදට යටි මුහුදු පතුලේ සිද්ධ වෙන ගිනි කඳු පිපිරීම. ඒ ගිනි කඳු පිපිරීම වලදී තායේ ලොකු එනර්ජි එකක් රිලීස් කරනවා. ඒ එනර්ජි එක එනවා උඩටම. උඩට ඇවිල්ලා ඒකෙන් waves. ඒ කියන්නේ මුහුදු පතුලේ යට ගිනි කඳු පිපිරුවොත් ඒ එනර්ජි එකෙන් ආයේ tsunami waves පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. You know about the earthquakes now. Then earth slips in the ocean floor. Right? මොකද්ද මේ? මුහුදු පතුලේ මුහුදු පතුලේ කඳු තියනවා ළමයි. Right? Right? ඒ වගේ නායයන් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Earth slips in the ocean floor. Then falling of a large meteorite to sea. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? උල්කාපාතය කඩාගෙන වැටුනොත් මුහුදට හරියට නිකන් වතුර බේසමකට ගලක් ඇතෑරියා වගේ වැඩක් තමයි වෙන්නේ. හරි. ලොකු මේකක් වේව් එකක් එකපාරට වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් අපිට තියෙන වාසිය අපිට ඩිටෙක්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන් දැන් මීටරට් එකක් පෘථිවිය දිහාවට එද්දී එයා අපේ ඇට්මොස්ෆියර් එකට ඇතුළු වුණාට පස්සේ වුණා ඊට කලින් වුණා ඊට කාලයකට කලින් වුණත් අපිට ඩිටෙක්ට් කරන්න පුළුවන් right what is going to be happen here right at at the level of the disaster also can be detected right and so we can be ready but the 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 level of the impact may not be actually calculated but at least we can get ready but other things cannot be easily detected the earthquakes that means we cannot prior it cannot be detected before it happens right earthquakes or a volcanic eruptions right we don't know what is happening in the ocean bed ocean floor we don't know that the earth slips we don't know right so but falling a large meteorite to the sea can be detected right of the above greatest ruin caused by the fall of gigantic meteorite to the sea but it can be detected but it cannot be stopped right a gigantic meteorite you have seen these type of movies I think you have seen these types of movies from the Hollywood not from that uh, low quality movies from the Bollywood. Please watch these types of movies from the Hollywood, right? The gigantic meteorite to the sea can be very harmful, right? And it is irreversible, right? Such as devastations may also caused by the collision of an asteroid with the Earth, right? The same thing will happen, right? The, we are moving to that early reports of the tsunamis, and the strength of the tsunami here is described by the height of the waves, right? You can see the 2004, the height of the wave is 50 meters. How it is, no? It is 50 meters. That means a building uh, of 10 floors, no, 15 floors, a building with 15 floors or something, right? It's nearly 15 meters. Now they are giving the average height, that these heights may be different from the region to region, right? From country to country, it depends on the distance of the point of earthquake. That means you have seen here, you have studied about the epicenter and the focus. Now the distance from the epicenter is related to the this height of the waves. So the strength, now they are giving it as an average value, right? Here, now you can see the Indonesia. First thing is Indonesia. It is again in the margin of the Burmese tectonic plate and the Indian tectonic plate. You have marked these things in the that previous map of earthquake, right? You have marked. Then the Papua New Guinea is something away from the Indian Ocean. Then the Sumatra Island again in 2004. Then the Java Island, it is right. Then the Solomon Islands, Samoa Islands, Chile, Argentina, then and again 2010 Sumatra Island, right? Right. Then this is a risky location to a country to be existed, right? But fortunately, it is 3 meters. Uh, I think that the Richter scale is below 4 or something, according to my memory. Nah, no, I don't think it is correct. So now here, the 9.1 Richter scale is happened 2004. Then after 10 years, after 6 years, it is 2010 Sumatra Island again. Now, we can expect another wave which is already originated from the Sumatra Island in the future. So we have to get ready. But the problem is Sri Lanka ready for a next tsunami? Is Sri Lanka ready to face for a tsunami wave which has a height of 50 meters or above, right? Do we have enough technology to to know the informations about this, or do we have good communication facilities to spread the news that the tsunami incident can be happen, right? Or do we have a proper transportation facilities to move people away from the coastal areas, right? So do we have accommodation facilities to accommodate people quickly, right? So these are problems related to the uh, Sri Lanka, right? Now we know we are in a risky region that that this oceanic region is is a risky location of tsunami because of the Indian tectonic plate and the Burmese tectonic plate. So so we have to get ready, right? Right. Now here they have given a series of questions, but uh, you can understand these questions by looking at the table 18.5. I will just discuss about them. According to the table, name of the country is the country that hit by the highest number of tsunami disaster. You can see here, right? What are the countries that were subjected to the tsunami disaster twice? You can see here. What was the date that the tsunami with the highest height recorded? We have enough discussed. What are the effects caused by the tsunami mentioned in the question number 3 to the Sri Lanka? It was discussed in the uh, starting of the lesson, but I will describe something different here. Now this is Sri Lanka, right? Don't blame me for my drawings, right? For my uh, poor drawings on the screen, right? මට අඳින්න බෑ මේ screen වල, right? Now you know the tsunami waves hit Sri Lanka by this side, right? Like this. The coastal areas are mostly affected. The eastern and the southern coastal areas are mostly affected, right? I will draw the affected regions from the with brown here. Now these are affected, right? And the southern, Galle, Matara, Hambantota, right? ගන්න දෙයක් නැති වෙන්න මිනිස්සු මැරුණා. Right? Here the Mullaitivu, Trinco, Ampara, Batticaloa, right, are affected. Right? Then here these regions were controlled by a terrorist organization called LTT. LTT. In 2004, those LTT members and the government army officers worked together to help to the people in these regions. Right? I can remember I was watching news that government officers and LTT terrorists are working together to help people and rebuild them in those areas. Right? So here we have Colombo, sorry, yeah, Colombo, Gampaha, and Nigambo, and here Mana. All those regions. This region is not largely affected, but somehow affected due to the from the tsunami waves, right? So now we are going to discuss about the main points of this lesson. This is nature of the tsunami waves. To understand the nature of the tsunami waves, you have to uh, get a slight understanding about the parts of a wave, right? When you are taking a wave, it has few parts, not in naturally that we are given those names for the study purpose. Right? මෙන්න මෙහෙම ළමයි රැල්ලක් නේ මේක. Right? Right? Here we have trough. We have trough. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ පහළට බහින තැන්. ඔන්න. පහළට බහැලා පහළම තැන trough. Right? Here you have crest. උඩට නැගලා උඩම තැන. Here you have crest. Then now think this is the middle line, and at the top point of the every peak you have the crest. Right here you have the trough. Then the wavelength is the distance between two crests. Right? Wavelength is the distance between two crests. You have to remember these points. They will ask us after giving x, y, and z and described this x, y, and z. Right? Then you have here amplitude. Amplitude is the height between the middle line and the from middle line to the crest. Right? Now you have learned few new words. First one is the crest, that is the topmost point of a peak. Then the wavelength. Then the trough is the bottommost point, right, of a wave. Then here you can also take it as a wavelength, right, between two consecutive troughs. Again, යාබද trough දෙකක් අතර හරි crest දෙකක් අතර හරි තියෙන දුර. Right? Here it is also a wavelength, but it is not given in the figure, but it is also a wavelength. Right? Then a water comprises of an alternate series of crests and troughs. Right? Water waves, crest and troughs. Troughs වලින් තමයි හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ. නමුත් ළමයි මෙන්න මේක. මෙන්න මේ wave length එකයි මෙන්න මේ amplitude එකයි. හරිද? මුහුදේ මැද ඉඳන් වෙරළ දිහාවට එද්දි වෙනස් වෙනවා. මුහුදේ මැද ඉඳන් වෙරළ දිහාවට එද්දි වෙනස් වෙනවා. මුහුද මැදදී මේ amplitude එක right අඩුයි. Right? Wave length එක වැඩි. Right? නමුත් වෙරළ දිහාවට එද්දි මේ amplitude එක මුහුද මැදට වඩා වැඩි. ඒකයි සුනාමි රැල්ලක් හැමතිස්සෙම මුහුද මැද තියෙන බෝට්ටු වලට ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ සුනාමි රැල්ලකින්. සුනාමියක් වෙලාවේදී මුහුද මැද තියෙන බෝට්ටු වලට ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හයි. මුහුද මැදදී ඇම්ප්ලිටියුඩ් එක අඩුයි. ඒ හින්දා ලොකු රැල්ලක් එයාලට පේන්නේ නැහැ. මුහුද මැද ඉන්න මිනිස්සු දන්නේවත් නැහැ සුනාමියක් එනවා කියලා. මාළු බෝට්ටු ට්‍රෝලර් වලින් එහෙම ගොඩක් මුහුද මැද්දට ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්න මිනිස්සු දන්නේ නැහැ. රයිට්. නමුත් වෙරළ දිහාවට එද්දී මේ ඇම්ප්ලිටියුඩ් එක ඉහළ යනවා. රයිට්. රැල්ලේ උස ඉහළ යනවා. මීටර් 50කට ගියා කියන්නේ මේක හිතන්නකෝ. මීටර් 50කට ආසන්න වෙන්න ගියා කියන්නේ. රයිට්. හරි. So here නමුත් මුහුද මැද ඉන්න කට්ටියට එච්චර වෙනසක් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මේ. The distance between two successive crests or troughs is called wavelength, right? Here you can see successive crest and the troughs. is called wavelength. The depth from the midpoint of a wave to its crest is known as amplitude, right? The depth from the midpoint, that means a midline, it's a midpoint of a wave to its crest is called amplitude, right? Here you can see this figure, it is very clear, right? They have given what is happening. Now, in the deep ocean, literally it is deep, right? Average, it is given as 4,000 meters, right? Then you can see here, this is a crest, and the the successive crest, that means the consecutive crest is here, right? Now the distance will be nearly 200 kilometers, right? Between two crests, right? Here, right? So the wavelength is too high and the amplitude is low. You can see uh, the depth from the midpoint of a wave is too low here, is too low here, right? This is the depth from the midpoint. This is it, only this type, right? So දැන් උඩට නම් මේ ටික යටට නම් මේ ටික, right? But when it is come near to the coast, right here, the depth is gradually decreasing. Now it is 50 meters, right? Now what has happened to the wavelength? It has reduced to the 23, nearly 20 kilometers, right? Now they have taken here from this point to nearly from this point to this point. That means they have not taken the crest or troughs. They have taken similar points, right, of the wave. But you can see here, if you are taking this point to this point, that means two crests, it is nearly 20 kilometers, right? But the depth is reducing. Then you can see the amplitude. The amplitude is increasing, right? That's a problem. And the velocity is decreasing, right? When it is come closer to the coast, that the depth, right? Depth is reducing. You know that when it come closer to the coastal area, to the beach, that the velocity is decreasing, right? Then the wavelength is, you can see here, it is also decreasing. Then the amplitude is, so the velocity is, that means the velocity of the wave that it has in the beginning we have discussed about it. It is 800 kilometers per hour, right? The average speed of the wave, right? Then the velocity is also decreasing. If it is come with that speed to the earth, right, the whole country will be affected, right? 800 kilometers per hour is very huge speed, very large speed, so we cannot tolerate. The velocity will be lower, reduce, when it comes to the coastal area. And you can see here the amplitude is increasing, right? The effect the effect of the move which occur in sea surface depend on the depth of the water column, right? Now all these fluctuations, depth, fluctuation of the depth, fluctuation of the wavelength, velocity, and the amplitude is depend on the depth of the water column, right? In the deep sea, the speed of tsunami wavelength is high, so the velocity is high in the deep sea. Their wavelength is also high, but the amplitude or the height of the wave is too low, right? Therefore, tsunami waves cannot be identified in the deep sea, right? Then I said that the fishermen in the trawler boats or that who are fishing in the deep sea will not identify about the tsunami. At least they don't get informations, right? What is happening in the beach. Then the further the ships is streaming in deep sea are not damaged. They are not damaged, right? So the magic is happening near to the coastal areas now. Then in the shallow sea, that means Nogeburu Muhuda. The speed is tsunami waves decreases. Fortunately, the speed of the tsunami waves decreases. Their wavelength is also decreased, right? You can see these things from studying the table here. Depth, velocity, and the wavelength. When the depth is high, velocity is high, the wavelength is also high, right? Their wavelength is also decreases, but the amplitude or the height of the waves are increasing. That's the problem. It hits with 50 meters of height, right? All the hotels will be destroyed. Hence, the boats near to the coast are damaged by the tsunamis. Boats near to the coast are damaged. Right, I can remember at those times when we are traveling in the coastal areas from Colombo to as as a child. I was a child in grade 5, right? I can remember that some boats uh, were in treetops, right? Small boats and some bigger sizes of boats were in they were in houses, inside the houses, not houses that that they were also ruined, that the inside the ruined houses, right? From 500 meters away from the sea to the inside of the country, but that was the damage, right? So you cannot at least imagine what will happen to the people who are facing to a tsunami wave, right? It was a disaster, right? Then the hence boats near to the coast are damaged by the tsunamis. In tsunami waves, the toughest approach to the sea, right? Then the sea is drawn backward, right? මුලින් approach කරන්නේ තමයි trough එක. පහළ කෑල්ල, right? මෙන්න මේ හින්දා තමයි වතුර යනවා පහළට. අදිනවා. මුහුද පස්සට යනවා ඒ හින්දා. Right? First approach එක rough එක. Right? ඊට පස්සේ මුහුද පස්සට ගිහිල්ලා ඔන්න ටික වෙලාවකින් එනවා ක්‍රෙස්ට් එක මේකට. මේ ක්‍රෙස්ට් එක එන්නේ මේ පස්සට ගිය වතුර ටිකත් මේකට අරගෙන. රයිට්. යෝධ රැල්ලක් විදිහට ඇවිල්ලා වදිනවා. මුලින් එන්නේ ට්‍රෆ් එක කියන එක මතක තියාගන්න මෙන්න මේක අහන්න. Trough first approach the shore, then the sea. Right. එතනදී ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ අර මුහුද පස්සට යන. ඔයාලා දැකලා ඇති in that time people didn't have camera phones or something to record this incident. But I have seen it in news. I will search to see to you to give to you about going backward. That ocean is backward with the approach of the trough to the shore. Right? This is a forwarding of an imminent tsunami. Right? මේක පස්සට ගිහිල්ලා තමයි ක්‍රෙස්ට් එක එන්නේ. ඔතනින් පස්සට ගිහිල්ලා ක්‍රෙස්ට් එක එනවා ඉස්සරහට. right? ඔතනින් පස්සට යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ වතුර ටිකත් අරගෙන ඒ යෝධ වතුර ටිකත් අරගෙන ක්‍රෙස්ට් එක එනවා ඉස්සරහට ඇවිල්ලා වෙරළේ වදිනවා. right? I will search for a video. Wait. Okay, Lamai. Now you can see here about the water receding. That means oceanic water goes backward before it hits to the shore. Right? Here I will play. Now, see what is moving backward before it comes to the ocean. If you see an unusually far receding ocean level, you have to run, right? But in 2000, people didn't have any experiences, so people went to catch fish who are requesting for their lives on the sea floor, on the beach, after receding the waves backward. That because people thought that wave is not coming again, so we can divide our lands. We can be the owners of the land. So they ran to the beach and separated their lands with fish. Right? They didn't know that the wave will come and hit back. Right? Here. Now this is the thing. Then it is come again as a tsunami. Right? Here you can see the incident. Right? Now you can see the textbook, I think. Yeah. Right? Then the coral reefs and mangroves retarded the speed of the tsunami waves. Right? Now we have studied the coral reef advantages of the mangrove earlier. That the mangrove plants and the coral reefs helps to retard the speed of the tsunami because they can act as a barrier to the tsunamis. Therefore, the coral reefs and mangroves should be protected. Right? It is right. We cannot be selfish that those things should be protected to be protected. by the tsunami waves, right? Now the coral reefs and the mangroves are a part of our lives. They are the nature. So we have to protect it as an additional advantage. We can be protected by tsunami waves, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයි අපි අර කියනවා නම් අපි සුනාමි වලින් ආරක්ෂා වෙන්න ඕනේ හින්දා මේ මැංග්‍රූව්ස් ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒක හරි ආත්මార్థකාමී කතාවක්. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. අපි මැංග්‍රූව්ස් ආරක්ෂා කරගත්තොත් right ඒකේ ඉන්න සත්තුන්ට බේරිලා ඉන්න තැනක් මාළුන්ට බිත්තර දාන්න තැනක් අපි හදලා දුන්නොත් right as an additional advantage අපිට අමතර වාසියක් විදිහට අපිට පුළුවන් tsunami waves වල ස්පීඩ් එක අඩු කරලා පොඩ්ඩක් ආරක්ෂා වෙන්න. Right? So, since there is a possibility of tsunami following an earthquake එකට පස්සේ there is a possibility of a tsunami, people should be vigilant about them. That means people should be knowledgeable, people should be informed. The investigations must be made about the sites that, like Sumatra region, which have been already damaged by tsunami, and the people living in such areas should be made aware about them, right? That the people should be aware and the investigation should be done about the regions like Sumatra and also the regions like Galle, Matara, and eastern provinces, because they have the risk of facing another tsunami in the future. So we can reduce it by being informed, right? Then 18.4 is coming wildfire. I will continue this video to the end of the wildfire. There the wildfires have occurred. That means wildfire කියන ළමයි ලැබුගිනි. ලැබුගිනි ඇති වෙන්නේ ගොඩාක් වේලුනහම වනාන්තර එහෙම ගොඩාක් වේලුනහම ඒව අතු එකිනෙක ඇතිල්ලිලා wildfires එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒත් එක්කම wildfires එන්න පුළුවන් මිනිස්සුන්ගේ මැදිහත් වීම. උදාහරණයක් සමහර මිනිස්සු හරක්ට එහෙම කෑම ගන්න තනකොළ හදා ගන්න ඕනේ හින්දා කැලෑවල් වේලිච්ච කැලෑවල් වලට ගිනි තියලා යනවා. Right? Intentionally they made fires. It is illegal and it is very harmful. Then they can feed their cattle, feed their cows with fresh grasses which are growing after that fire, right? Because large trees will be destroyed. Then there is a plain with grasses will be there after some times of a wildfire. So the other thing is people do this unintentionally. They throw, as an example, they throw their cigarettes when they are traveling on a vehicle to the roadside. They throw them to the roadside, and that small cigarette may cause to a huge wildfire. So as a result, the lives of the people can be destroyed, lives of the animal, lives of the trees, right? The value of natural resources can be destroyed due to the wildfire. That the Californian region is also faces some wildfires continuously in America. In Sri Lanka, it is uh, mon- it is frequently happening in Monaragala, that Alla areas in the dry season. So the wildfires have occurred in the out of the jungle from the distance past. When a forest is dry, when a forest is dry, wildfires may erupt due to natural reasons. Right. Another thing is lightning. When a when a lightning happening, you know the huge electric shock uh, will reach to the land. As a result, the wildfire can be erupted. Or setting fire deliberately or by mistake. හිතාමතාම ගිනි තියනවා නැත්තම් අර වගේ එක්ක ගිනි කූරක් දානවා නිකන්. හරිද? ඔය වගේ දෙයක් හින්දා wildfires අපි නොසිතන විනාශයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. There are three factors that should be met for a fire to break out. You know, there are three factors should be there. The availability of combustible substances. That means මොනහරි ගිනි ගන්න දෙයක් තියෙන combustible substance. Then the availability of support or combustion of oxygen. You have learned these things in grade 8. There should be combustible substance. There should be a supportable or combustion gas like oxygen. Then the heating combustible substance to the ignition temperature. That means there is a minimum temperature that as combustible substance should be heated to get fired. It is called ignition temperature, right? If it is not reached to the ignition temperature, the fire, it will not get fired. So it should reach above to the level of the ignition temperature, right? Then the several factors are affecting the spread of wildfires, right? දැන් ඔන්න ළමයි ගිනි ගන්න එක පටන් ගත්තා ඊට පස්සේ මේක ස්ප්‍රෙඩ් වෙන්න මොනවද බලපාන ගොඩක් දුරට බලපාන ළමයි හුළඟ වැඩි නම් මේක නවත්තන්න අමාරුයි පැතිරෙනවා right බියලි හුළඟක් එක්ක එද්දී ඉස්සර මට මතකයි අපි පේරාදෙනේ ඉද්දී අවුරුදු දෙකකදීම හන්තාන ගිනි ඇවිලුවා හන්තානේ එක පැත්තක් තියෙනවා ඔය ළමයි දැන් ඒ පැත්ත වියලි කාලෙට එහෙ ඉන්නවා හරක් බලාගෙන මිනිස්සු ඔය දැන් ඒ පැත්තේ මිනිස්සු කියන්නේ ඒ ගිනි තියන්නේ හරක් බලාගෙන මිනිස්සු කියන මොකද අර තනකොළ ආයේ හදාගන්න ඕනේ හින්දා right ඒ මිනිස්සු ගිහිල්ලා ගිනි තියනවා මේක ඇවිලෙනවා දවස් ගාණක් right ඈතට පේනවා ඉතින් අපිට දුකයි right නමුත් එහෙම තමයි ඒව නවත්තන්න නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඕන සමහර වෙලාවට ඉබේම ඇති වෙනවා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන් right අපි දන්නේ නැහැ then what are the reasons for spreading the wildfires existence of the dry plant leaves or tree stems like combustible materials as combustible materials dry plants or leaves මොකද වියලි මේවා එකිනෙකට ඇතිල්ලිලා ගිනි ගන්න පුළුවන් ඇතිල්ලෙන්නේ නැහැ හුළඟට වේගවත් සුළඟට මේවා එකිනෙක ඇතිල්ලුවාම ගිනි ගන්න පුළුවන් right then the prevalence of high temperature ඉහළ උෂ්ණත්වය low humidity water vapor right low humidity that means a low water vapor content in the air then profuse supply of oxygen to the fire due to blowing wind profuse supply of oxygen to the fire ඒ කියන්නේ දිගින් දිගටම මේ oxygen එනවා මොකද blowing wind එක so if there is a high level of blowing winds the oxygen supply will be higher So the spread will be higher. Then the slopy land that helps to upward spread of the fire. So when there is a slopy land, right? This is also happening in the Hantan. There is a slopy land. So the uh, when the fire when the below parts get fired due to intentional and or unintentional activities or a natural uh, due to a natural phenomena, then this fire is going upward due to the wind, right? Because this land is you 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 can see like this, right? This fire easily goes to the uh, next combustible material. It can be a bent tree or something, right? It will be spread. If it is a plane like this, right? it- the spreading will be uh, slightly slower than a slopy land. So a wildfire is a terrifying scene. You can see. මොකද මේක ලොකු ගින්නක් පැතිරෙනවා, right? A very tall column of fire, very tall column of fire moves forward very fast. You know, the smoke produced in this මෙන්න මේක තමයි ළමයි භයානක ප්‍රතිනේ. මේකෙන් ඇති වෙනවනේ ලොකු දුමක්. මේ දුමට හුස්ම ගන්න බැරුව මිනිස්සු මැරෙනවා. Right? Access to the meters of in the atmosphere එකේ උඩටම යනවා. More and more fire also would break out because fire flames carried through the air to the distant places. Right? මොකද මේ fire flames මේකෙන් එන ගිනි පුළිඟු ගිනි පුපුරු හුලඟත් එක්ක යනවා ඊළඟ තැනට. ගිහිලා එතන වැටිලා එතන ගිනි ගන්න ගන්න. මේ හින්දා තමයි මේක නිවන්න අමාරු. right? හුලඟ වැඩි නම් මේ දුම ASCII හුලඟ වැඩි නම් right? ලොකු දුමක් එනවා පලාතම වැහෙනවා ලොකු ෆයර් කොලම් එකක් එන්නේ උඩට පැතිරිච්ච right? මේකෙන් එන ගිනි පුපුරු ඊළඟ තැනට ගිහිල්ලා වැටෙනවා. එතකොට එතන ගිනි ගන්නවා. ඒ හින්දා මේ this fire moves forward very fast, right? The plants and the animals have been damaged due to the wildfire. ඒක කියන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. Organisms are adversely affected. Imagine when there is a extinct organism or some very rare organism, they can be adversely affected, right? By the smoke produced by the wildfire. It has been reported that the respiratory difficulties and the again ශ්වසන අපහසුතාව හුස්ම ගන්න අමාරුයි and even deaths have occurred in certain instances. In Sri Lanka, approximately 4,000 acres 4,000 acres of lands have been destroyed in 2016 owing to the wildfire. Right? Wildfires අපි හිතනවට වඩා අපේ රටට හානියක් කරලා තියෙනවා. 4,000 acres of now these 4,000 acres are forest areas or small jungles. So it has largely affected in 2016. Right now, this is only 2016. What about 2015 and the 2017 and now, right? එක අවුරුද්දට 4,000යි නම් ඉතුරු අවුරුදු වල අපිට කතා කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මේ අවුරුද්ද නම් පොඩ්ඩක් අඩුයි. මොකද අවුරුද්දම වැස්සා. right? නමුත් සමහර වියලි පැති වලට එච්චරම වැස්සක් උනේ නැහැ. හරි. Right ළමයි. එතනින් අපේ අද පාඩම මෙතනින් ඉවර වෙනවා. Then we have to discuss the relationships between the increase in global warming and the disasters. Right? It is a small part. It will also uploaded as a recorded lecture, recorded class. I am not using the word lecture. It will terrify you, right? This is a recorded class, but actually a lecture, right? Okay. So I am going to stop this by now. If you have any questions after watching this video, you can send me through the WhatsApp. I will read it. I will try to read it at my best. So let's meet with the next class, right, Lamai? So we can go, right? Good night. Now it is 10:05 p.m. in 14th of December 2024. Right, I am going.